Vajiram and Ravi's Places in News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to discuss some important places which have been in news for the past few days. So let us start with the first place across the globe, that is Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro has been in news because a recent study has pointed out that it has lost nearly 75% of plant species, highlighting that how biodiversity conservation should be at the heart of our policies as of now. So when we are talking about Mount Kilimanjaro, it is located in Tanzania and it is located at the Kenya-Tanzania border itself. Now, an important thing to note here is that it is a freestanding stratovolcanic massif. That means it is not part of any fold mountain, it is a single standalone stratovolcanic mountain which is present, and it is associated with the volcanism which is part of East African Rift system. If you want to understand about East African Rift system, I have recently covered in a detailed video in Flash News. You can go and watch that as well. There are multiple volcanic cones around it, that is such as Kibo, which is a dormant volcanic mountain. Then we have Mawenzi and Shira as well. So Kibo has been dormant for a while, but if we talk about Mawenzi and Shira, they have been extant and they are pretty rugged as well as eroded as a landform. Furthermore, Mount Kilimanjaro is surrounded by savanna on its side, where it has montane forest and alpine desert belts as well. Furthermore, when we talk about Mount Kilimanjaro, it is also important for us to note that this is the highest peak which is present in Africa, and it is one of those few equatorial mountains which are glaciated as well, and that is why it acts as a natural climate archive which gives us an understanding into long-term temperature trends that have been seen around the area. It influences not only the orographic rainfall but the local hydrology as well, and that's why it becomes important for your exam from the perspective of not just GS1 but GS3 as well, where we can talk about sustainable tourism, and this can be used as a case study. Now moving to the next place that is in news is Somaliland. So Somaliland has been in news because Israel has gone ahead and given recognition to it, and there has been a global outcry against it. So when we talk about Somaliland, you can see in the given location, it is right at the Horn of Africa, and in the north we have Djibouti, we have Ethiopia in south and west, and we have Somalia in east. Then we have Gulf of Aden which lies in north, which makes this position very strategic. Capital of Somaliland has been labelled as Hargeisa, and it controls an important long coastline right here around Gulf of Aden, and it is important from the perspective of global shipping because it is a critical corridor. If you look at Bab el-Mandeb, then you get to understand that 12% of global trade passes via here. Now when we are talking about Somaliland, let us also look into why it is significant. It declared its independence back in 1991 when Somalia collapsed, but this statehood criteria that has been asked, it is not internationally recognized. However, it meets many de facto statehood criteria, but there has been no recognition, that is de jure recognition has been given. And as I said, the proximity to Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which is responsible for 12% of global trade, makes it highly significant. From the perspective of exam, it gives you an insight into statehood versus recognition, how international recognition plays an important role, IR, maritime geopolitics, and also stability in fragile regions such as Somalia, Somaliland, Djibouti, Ethiopia, all of these, Sudan, South Sudan, all of these regions. Now on this note, we will be moving to the next place in news, that is Bezimiani volcano. If you look at this volcano which is present in Kamchatka Peninsula, it has been in news because it was noticed that this peninsula, which blew itself apart 69 years ago, the explosion was so huge that the whole volcanic mountain exploded, but it has regrown again. So if you see in the given image, you will be able to see right here, when back in 1956 this eruption happened, the eruption was so huge and there was a whole collapse that happened, which you can see in the first stage. but the current stage of regrowth has taken place, and it has become a stratocone that we can see in the given image. When we are talking about this particular volcano, you need to know that it is located in Kamchatka Peninsula. So if you see far off east in Russia, this is Kamchatka Peninsula, and this volcano is located right in the heart of this peninsula. It lies within the Pacific Ring of Fire, which should give the answer to how such huge and and destructive volcanic eruptions have taken place here. The two important plates which are coming together here is the Pacific plate and the Okotoks plate. The Pacific plate is the oceanic plate, so it is subducting, and Okotoks plate is the continental plate here. Now if we talk about the characteristics of this volcano, it is characterized by lava dome growth, which has been seen, the collapse, the pyroclastic lava flows, and also the creation of crater, which I had just shown in the image. If we are talking about significance of this particular volcano, it is one of the most active volcanoes which are present in Eurasia, and it gives us an insight into subduction and volcanism and explosive volcano dynamics as well. That's why it becomes important from the perspective of your GS1 exam, and also how there can be direct question from prelims here itself. Now we will be moving towards Indian places that have been in news, and the first one that we are going to do today is Koleru Lake. So if we talk about Koleru Lake, it has been in news because black dried fish has brought recognition to Koleru Lake. This black dried fish is known for its unique taste and traditional preparation methods. So when we are talking about Koleru Lake, its location, we can clearly see it is located in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and it is present in the interdeltaic region of Krishna as well as Godavari river, which is located very close to the city of Iluru. Now this region also serves as a natural flood balancing reservoir for both of these rivers, and this spreads across about 308 square kilometer, and it is one of the largest freshwater lakes that we have present in India. If we are talking about the state itself, it is the largest freshwater lake of the state, and if we talk about the characteristic, it is comparatively a shallow lake which is seen. It receives water from multiple rivers and tributaries such as Boderimuru, Rameliru and Tamileru and Iraklava, and along with that 18 drains. Seasonal fluctuations have been responsible for the nutrient cycling that we get to see and the bird habitats that form in Koleru Lake. Can you tell me in the comment section, is Koleru Lake a Ramsar wetland site or not? Now when we are talking about significance of Koleru Lake, it becomes important because this place is also known as Peerless Fisherman's Paradise and Bird Heaven. It was declared a wildlife sanctuary back in 1999, and it was designated as a wetland of international importance in 2002. That means yes, it is a Ramsar site. It supports multiple migratory birds including grey pelicans, painted storks, open-billed storks. There are species which migrate from Siberia, Central Asia, Himalayas, and it makes it India's richest avian habitat as well. So this lake does not stand in a vacuum. It stands intertwined with local livelihoods, sustainable living methods, and also rural livelihoods which depend on duck farming, fishing, and paddy cultivation. From the perspective of exam, it is very important when we are talking about wetland conservation and livelihood as well. Now on this note, we will be moving to the next place that we are going to do today, that is Parvati Arga Bird Sanctuary. So when we talk about Parvati Arga Bird Sanctuary, it has been in news because the government has gone ahead and declared it as a eco-sensitive zone. So when we talk about Parvati Arga Bird Sanctuary, it is located in state of Uttar Pradesh in the Gonda district. It is a freshwater environment which is made by two oxbow lakes. Can you tell me in the comment section, oxbow lake is associated to which part of the river? Is it the upper, middle or the lowest part? And it has recently been designated as Ramsar site in Uttar Pradesh. Before this, when we are talking about a declaration, Uttar Pradesh did not have multiple wetland site, but in this declaration, UP got many. Can you tell me in the comment section which are the other Ramsar sites that we find in Uttar Pradesh? If we talk about the importance of Parvati Arga Bird Sanctuary, fauna wise it is very rich because critically endangered white rumped vulture is present, then we have Indian vulture which is present, and also endangered Egyptian vulture is present in this bird sanctuary. Invasive species are also here such as water hessian which are present here. In terms of vegetation, it is also rich and it is known for the particularly Indo-Gangetic ecosystem which flourishes here. When we are talking about Parvati Arga Bird Sanctuary, it becomes important because it is a key stopover when we talk about the Central Asian flyway of migratory birds. It maintains biodiversity in agricultural dominated landscape. It is known for its flora, fauna, and also designated as a Ramsar wetland site. So it is relevant for your exam for avian ecology, wetland governance, and also biodiversity conservation. Now on this note, we will be moving to the next place that has been news, that is Teesta River. Teesta River has been in news because recently an unfortunate incident took place where we lost an army jawan during a raft capsize. So if we look at this given image, you will be able to see that Teesta joins Brahmaputra and it is one of the important tributaries of Brahmaputra, and there has been a direct question in prelims already in regards with that. So when we are talking about Teesta itself, we get to see that it is an important river of Brahmaputra. It is an important tributary of Brahmaputra and forms the part of Brahmaputra river system. It originates in Sikkim Himalayas and it flows through Sikkim, then West Bengal, and gradually enters Bangladesh. It is a glacier-fed perennial river and it has high climate sensitivity associated with it. Now when we are talking about significance of the Teesta River, it is a critical transboundary river. Teesta water dispute is one of the key water disputes between India and Bangladesh which remain unresolved, and this river remains central to irrigation, hydropower, and also flood management. And as I said, the resolution has not come along. That is why it is also diplomatically sensitive, not between just two countries but also to the state. So from the perspective of exam, not just the tributaries of Brahmaputra and Brahmaputra drainage system becomes important, but from the perspective of governance and federalism, this is an important topic for you to remember. Now on this note, we will be moving to the next one, that is Dhasan River. Dhasan River has been in news because of the sand mining that has been taking in place, and basically NGT has rejected the plea which is challenging the cancellation of clearance that has been given here. So when we talk about Dhasan River itself, it is an important right bank tributary of Betwa River, which is in turn a tributary of Yamuna River. Can you tell me in the comment section, is Betwa right bank tributary or left bank tributary of Yamuna River? Now, if we talk about Dhasan River, it flows in the region of Bundelkhand region of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. It originates in the Begamganj Tehsil in Madhya Pradesh and gradually flows through southeastern boundary that is present between Lalitpur district and Madhya Pradesh. The total length of the river is around 365 km, out of which 240 is in Madhya Pradesh, 54 is the common boundary in UP and MP, and then rest 71 km is in Uttar Pradesh. The river is also known as Dasharna in the ancient period. Recently, it has been in highlight not just because of the Lechura Dam, but also Ken-Betwa river linking. Now, in terms of significance, Dhasan River becomes important because any ecological collapse here is going to affect the aquatic food chains. It impacts the livelihoods, irrigation in that region, and the governance gaps such as weak enforcement of pollution laws has been seen here. Poor interstate coordination has been present. So it becomes important from the perspective of exam for water management, tributaries, the Yamuna drainage system, and also federal governance because it is a transboundary river. On this note, that was all from my side. Thank you so much.